Charlie, your mask is like this thing. You know those who are doing the fumigation at Zoom Lion, they have some fumigation masks when they wear. It's like some caricature that appears in bad dreams. Charlie, later back. You just draw close to the mic. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know the joke in Corona. No chance. You are not taking chances. I'm sure you are baffling if you are wearing a mask. Charlie. Hey, Nathan, Charlie. Man say you don't want no corona for nowhere.
No, it's just somebody is battling wearing PPE.
Charlie. Buffy inside. Charlie, but you know, I was watching. Zoe went to the 37L place. Charlie.
She said after 5 minutes, the way she was
sweating. The things that people wear. My brother.
Zoe said Charlie after 5, and when she came back that day, she was wearing her overall. She was just sitting in the chair. She was like, God, I was Charlie.
And the guy
thing is not easy.
Wellington boots, gloves.
Just think about an astronaut.
Charlie going to space. Oh Lord, let Corona vanish.
Immediately.
Let's get into the headlines, guys.
Front page of the Daily Graphic, Bernard. Cabinet approves deal, and that is regarding the strategic investor for Comenda Sugar Factory, nice. Park Agrotech, to invest $28 million in 3 years. NPP National Council endorses Akufo-Addo flag bearer for 2020. Parliamentary Committee OK's Constitutional Instrument 126, and there is a feature on death traps on some major roads in Accra.
The Ghanaian Times says EC pilot voter registration exercise successful, but Western region suffers technical glitch. Include COVID-19 testing in yellow card, GIS recommends, and easing of restrictions on religious activities. Churches reluctant to congregate for worship. Majority prefer virtual services to protect members from COVID-19.
Front page of the Daily Guide newspaper, voters register, NDC battles AGEC today. Conference center collapsing, according to an engineer. I'll give you details of that. Over 3,000 recover from COVID-19. Excellent news.
The Chronicle says COP money swindled by confidence trickster. $50,000 V8 vehicle involved. Use of old voter card is tantamount to flawed register, Osei Mensah, when Mills and Mills tango over Mills's death. That's on page 14 of the Chronicle.
Chronicle will kill us.
The Chronicle headline game these
And
days.
5,908 aliens intercepted since border closure.
But just even look at the COP money.
Yeah,
swindled by confidence trickster.
Yeah, man.
We need new register. Kufuor rallies support for EC's impending fresh voters registration. And when it looks like Kweku Sechiado is back in the journalist chair.
The New Crusading Guide says government signs €500 million Western Rail contract to construct rail line between Takoradi and Huni Valley. Paul Educhum's family fights conspirators over $40 million assets in Guinea, and voter register brouhaha. Nothing wrong with NDC's participation. I see Edun Ketia speaking there.
Front page of the BNFT, OMCs to increase petroleum prices by 14%. Bust margin and ex-refinery price major factors. Poultry farmers push for regulation of imports. Egg glut pushes farmers to slash price by 20%. 500,000 crates of eggs set to go bad. Farmers ready to lay off workers. 1 day, 1 egg campaign unveiled.
Wow. 1 day, 1 egg. I like that.
IEA backs BOG's 10 billion CD government bailout, calls for judicious use for the intended purposes. That's on the front page of the Business Finder. Cabinet approves strategic investor for Comenda Sugar Factory. Mining quarrying revenue improves by 70%.
CityNewsroom.com. We have enough space and teachers as final years return to school. This is GES. Also, Parliament statement on 280 million COVID-19 expense factually inaccurate. This is Minority. Other stories: Minority is petition Auditor General over government's COVID-19 allocations. Then there are a few interesting ones down there as well. Trade Minister pledges to revamp Comenda Sugar Factory after COVID-19. Credit Mahama for new Temamoto interchange according to Agboja. And Ghanaians around Burkina border call for tighter security. CityBusinessNews.com, Comenda Sugar Factory to resume operations after borders reopen. This is Alan K. Ghana must deploy renewable energy to achieve electricity access universally. And transport operators lament low sales due to social distancing. Also on the same City Business News website. MyJoyOnline.com, final year University of Ghana students to remain at home despite easing of restrictions. Also, NHIA probes radiotherapy units of Kolebu Konfanochi for charging cancer patients unapproved fees. And this is not an NDC battle. Asidun Ketia called support for stance against voter registration requirements. Star News, Mahama ready with running mate announcement. This is Ras Mubarak. Also, Ghana's case count 8,548. Recoveries jumped to 3,132. And there's an interesting one here. AICC is a ticking time bomb. Now, global stories. Trump tries to divide us, says US ex-defense chief. And Iran fears second wave as virus cases climb again.
3,000.
Oh,
daily.
Lord.
Now they are doing
COVID.
3,000 daily.
And then if you go to CNN, they say former generals, plural, condemn Trump. And then also autopsy shows George Floyd had coronavirus. Oh, Lord. And then there's a very serious story in China, South China Morning Post. China flexing military muscles in border dispute with India. This is not going to end well. Gentlemen, let's start with the first few
I'll
stories.
tell you where that dispute is happening.
Yeah. It's
High up on the mountain.
Yes, it's
In the Himalayas.
yes, it actually is. Yes, and then they've taken the dispute to social media. Indian and Chinese soldiers have taken the border.
In the Himalayas.
Yes, and the Chinese and Indian soldiers have both taken the issue to social media too.
China is huge. If their
yes.
borders challenge.
Yeah,
If you
it's
want
Anyway,
yeah. Anyway,
but
so
let me
let's
take you. Today we must start with politics.
Yes, please.
A lot happening
Yes,
there.
please. Yes,
And
please.
page 18 of the Daily Graphic has a big story.
Yes, sir.
NPP National Council endorses a Akufo-Addo flag bearer for 2020. President Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo has been endorsed as the flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party by the National Council of the party. He's expected to be acclaimed as the flag bearer of the party on a yet to be announced date. The General Secretary of the party, Mr. John Boedu, made this known to the media yesterday after the party's National Council and National Executive Committee meetings in Accra. Mr. Boedu also announced June 2020 as the date on which the party would conduct its parliamentary primaries in the 168 constituencies where it had sitting members of parliament. He said the primaries would be conducted in electoral areas instead of the previous format where delegates congregated at one venue to vote.
Okay, and the other stories are the details of the voting for
Yes.
the party. I think the date is June 20.
Yes, that's what I just
Yes,
told you.
so
And how
that's-
they are doing it in electoral areas instead of the previous format where delegates will congregate. This is because of the COVID.
Okay.
Now, there are a lot of other EC-related
Yes,
issues
please
as
go there.
well.
Yes, if you go to page 13 of the Ghanaian Times, EC pilot voter registration exercise successful, but Western region suffers technical glitch. Story put together by Claude Nyako Adams, and it reads, the Electoral Commission's 2-day pilot voter registration exercise in all 16 regions across the country ended yesterday with mixed reactions from the various centers. The exercise, according to the commission, was to identify problems associated with the new BVR system, including its effect under various weather conditions, and find ways of mitigating them ahead of the voter registration compilation later this month. So they had an interview, or there was an interview with the Director General of the Greater Accra Regional EC, Kwame Amwa. He described the exercise as successful, and he said 45 applicants were registered on the first day, while 70 people got registered on the second day. However, in the Western region, there were some issues, and even yesterday, some of the stories I went through before CNL stated that in the Volta region, for example, there were some issues as well.
Well, today the Supreme Court will also hear a case, Bernard. The NDC is battling the AG and the EC today, and that story is on page 3 of the Daily Guide. And details are that the NDC is expected to go into a straight battle with the AG and EC over the new voters register at the Supreme Court. In late March this year, the NDC sued the AG and attached the EC over the Commission's decision to compile a new voters register for the 2020 parliamentary and presidential elections. The party wants the Supreme Court to declare that the EC, per the 1992 Constitution, can only compile a voters register once and subsequently review it over time and not compile a new one instead. So, Bernard, the AG has responded. They filed their response. The EC have also filed their response.
If you go to page 3 of the Chronicle, there are other stories developing from this. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Mr. Simon Osei-Mensah, says using the voter ID card to compile the new register will be tantamount to obtaining the same flawed register. He has therefore called on qualified voters in his region to come out in their numbers and register when the EC opens the voter registration process. Now, he noted that Articles 42, 45, and 46 mandated the EC to compile a list of people who were qualified to vote.
Now, Speaker Tenzo Ayariga's plea for a rejection of EC's new identification requirements is the final one we'll do here. The Speaker of Parliament has rejected a motion for Boku Central MP Amaha Ayariga challenging the EC's move to make the Ghana card and passport the only valid identification for registering voters. According to the notice of motion filed by Mr. Ayariga, he wanted Parliament to reject the Public Election Amendment Regulation CI 126 pursuant to Articles 11.7 of the Constitution. But in a memo to Mr. Ayariga, the Speaker asked him to rather appear before the Subsidiary Legislation Committee to voice his concerns.
Okay, let me take you into some agribusiness, Bernard. That's also a big story on page 3 of the BNFT. And I think we did something on this on CNR as
Commander
well.
Sugar Factory?
No, poultry farmers.
Poultry farmers,
okay.
yes.
I will go to the Commander Factory later. Poultry farmers push for regulation of imports. Poultry farmers are pushing government to take a bold decision to regulate the importation of frozen and other finished poultry products into the country, as 500,000 crates of eggs are waiting to go bad, even though players in the sector have slashed their price by 20%. This is a call being championed by the Ghana National Poultry Farmers Association, Women in Poultry Value Chain, Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, and the Ghana National Egg Campaign Secretariat. According to them, the troubles of the tourism, hospitality, and education sectors have exposed them to serious operational difficulties, as many of their eggs stay in the farms with no buyers available. Now, they're also asking the government to take the bold decision to regulate poultry importation so that farmers can move into the broiler business to sustain their operation. They said that the regulation should ensure that a minimum 40% of the market share will be controlled by local producers.
Let me take you to the Commander Sugar Factory story on citybusinessnews.com. The Minister for Trade, Alan Chermartin, says the new investor for the Commander Sugar Factory should commence the implementation of its roadmap post-COVID-19. The factory is yet to resume full operations after being shut down for about 3 years, despite the fanfare that heralded its opening. A strategic investor, Park Agrotech, has since been selected to revive the factory after a technical audit by the PricewaterhouseCoopers. Answering a question in Parliament, Minister said government's ban on foreign travel coupled with the border closures had also affected the process of restoring the Commander Sugar Factory. Then, still, let me just give you something not necessarily related. Then I'll come to you, Nathan.
Well, that's also better, just linked to that
Yes.
story. Mr. Chematis was saying that after a series of extensive stakeholder consultations, a national sugar policy
Okay.
was finally approved by Cabinet in October 2019.
Okay.
Well, let's stay with the Chronicle. And there's a very interesting story involving a policeman and a V8.
Okay.
So an Accra Circuit Court has issued a bench warrant for the arrest of one Kweku Alex Tete for selling and keeping the proceeds of a Toyota V8 4x4 vehicle valued at $50,000 belonging to Commissioner of Police Samuel Money. Tete, the accused, who is resident at Ofankor in the Greater Accra region, was in January 2017 giving the vehicle belonging to Samuel Money, Director General of the Ghana Police Service in charge of technical, to be given back to one Awudu, who reportedly sold the vehicle to the senior police officer. Complainant Money, according to the facts of the case read in court, got to know the seller of the vehicle through the accused person, who is currently at large, and the senior police officer requested that the vehicle be returned to the seller because he had lost interest in purchasing it. So the story goes on and on.
Let's talk about school reopening. GSGG was on point of view yesterday, and he says we have enough space and enough teachers for final years to return. The GES says it's surprised over concerns of inadequate teachers and space for academic work following the resumption of school for final year students in the country. Its DG, Professor Kwesi Opokwa Mankwa, says there is enough infrastructure as well as teaching staff to ensure the adherence of social distancing during the partial reopening of junior and senior high schools amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Professor Opokwa Mankwa says the situation can easily be managed much more than the impossibility being anticipated. He was speaking on the point of view. Then on myjoyonline.com, final year students of University of Ghana to remain at home despite easing of restrictions. Now, final year students of the University of Ghana will remain at home despite the easing of coronavirus restrictions. On Sunday, President Akufo-Addo gave the green light for final year students in universities, junior high schools, and senior high schools to resume after months of closure due to coronavirus. In his 10th address to the nation, the president said from Monday, 15 June, the decision would be taken. The decision has been taken after engagement with the teacher unions to open the final year students. But we are told from this story in an update that the university sent, management of the university in a statement copied to Joy News said the institution will continue its online tuition as scheduled. Here's a quote. The University of Ghana's online teaching and learning program for the second semester of 2019-2020 will progress as planned, Pro Vice Chancellor Professor Nana Abba Apiamfo said. This means the examination for all students, including final years, scheduled to commence from June 8 to July 3, will proceed as originally planned. The university says arrangements, however, are being made to receive registered final year students who may wish to relocate to the campus of the university to make use of the campus resources for the exam period.
Interesting.
So maybe your internet doesn't work where you are, so you come and stay on campus.
Well,
but
just
no lectures.
a quick addition to that on page 6 of the ABC News. Students who are unwell should remain at home, according to the Education Minister. We've dealt with that already, but just to take note. Now, let me give you 2 quick stories related to land guards, and we've had a lot of land guard issues.
Still?
Yes. Back page of the Daily Graphic, 14 suspected land guards arrested. 14 suspected land guards have been dragged to court for allegedly attacking and assaulting 10 people on their land sites at Pantine in the Greater Accra region. The accused persons who have been charged with conspiracy to commit crime, prohibition of activities of land guards, and assault. Presenting the facts of the case, Prosecutor of Police Chief Superintendent Mr. Alex Ronko said the 14 accused persons were land guards who terrorized people and prevented them from working on their lands, and they responded to a distress call to handle with that situation. Now, if you go to page 5 of the Daily Guide as well, there is an ad that has been taken pram under attack by one person and a named person here, and armed land guards.
Still.
So you can get page 5 of the Daily Guide. I'm not going to mention their names because I don't have his side of the story.
Yes. Now, quick story on political issue. Credit Mahama for new Temamoto interchange. Agboja to Akufo-Addo. See on citynewsroom.com says, ranking member of the Road and Transport Committee of Parliament, Kwame Agboja, has asked the government to acknowledge the former President Mahama for the newly constructed Temamoto interchange. In an article that a member of Parliament described as shameful the posture of the President in seeking to exhibit with plans to take credit for the Temamoto interchange project. According to him, the project in question was started by Mr. Mahama during his time in office. Sadly, President Akufo-Addo has consistently taken credit for strategic projects initiated by his predecessor, and like the proverbial ostrich, turns around to accuse the benefactor of incompetence and simply plunging Ghana into an abyss. Nathan.
Well, you remember what I read on the front page of the Chronicle when Mills and Mills tango over Mills's death? Well, it's a feature written by Ebo Kwanzaa. Now, the feature is looking at the fact that 2 people who are related to the departed former president, John Evans Atta Mills, want to be they are going back and forth over the cause of the man's death and an autopsy report and what killed him, all of that. So for those who are interested in these things, page 14 of the Chronicle is where you should go to find these details. But if you go to the Business Finder, for example, it says IEA backs BOG's 10 billion CD government bailout, but it is calling for judicious use. Now, economic policy think tank, the Institute for Economic Affairs, IEA, has commended government and the BOG, Bank of Ghana, for the interventions aimed at dealing with the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. The institute noted that government needed substantial resources to finance both the health and economic costs of the pandemic. As such, the IEA welcomed government source of funding from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, saying internally government had indicated its intention to resort to the consolidated
Let me give you
fund.
a quick story on our AICC. Now, the Accra International Conference Center is a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, it's
according to
collapsing. Daily
Engineer
Guide.
Mark Addo.
Yes, now if you go to page 6 of the Daily Guide, you will find that story. A structural engineer attached to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mike Addo, is warning of an impending collapse of one of Ghana's best-known listed buildings, the Accra International Conference Center. He said the edifice, which is a famous meeting venue located in the Christianburg district, has been derelict for 29 years and is in a state of serious disrepair. He has consequently called for immediate refurbishment of the edifice, commissioned around 1991, saying that 30% of its columns and pillars are gone. The first report I saw on this was in 2014. It was almost like this: concrete of pillars and columns coming off, the engineer said, adding there was water on the floor when the building was being commissioned. So, yeah, they have a lot of work to do there.
All right, let me give you a few international stories. In the U.S., former Defense Secretary James Mattis has denounced President Trump, accusing him of stoking division and abusing his authority. In a rare public comment, Mr. Mattis said the president has sought to divide the American people and had failed to provide mature leadership. He says he was angry and appalled at Mr. Trump's handling of the recent unrest. In a response, President Trump described Mr. Mattis as, quote, an overrated general, and said he was glad he had left the post. Now, other stories that also coming up: coronavirus second wave feared in Iran. Don't forget, initially Iran was the one of the mainly affected places.
Yeah.
Iran reports more than 3,000 daily infections for second day in a row, with cases rising constantly. Other reports from the BBC. Mexico reports more than 1,000 daily deaths for the first time. Brazil sets a new record of 1,349 daily deaths.
Hey.
Charlie, the thing doesn't want to go, my brother.
The Latin American corner, no, they should be careful.
The Serpent's Corner is becoming serious. Now, let me take you to China. They and India are doing some funny things. This is the South China Morning Post. It says, China-India dispute highlights both sides' growing military presence at the border. Deployment of Chinese advanced weapon system is designed to show India the PLA's capability, experts say. And this is a friction that echoes the 2017 serious confrontation in a place called Doklan. And the story basically says the latest tension between China and India have further fueled both countries' build-up of troops and weapons to assert territorial claims at their disputed border areas, with China's People's Liberation Army stepping up advanced arms testing and training at high altitude.
And in South Africa...
Meanwhile, the Indian Army has moved several battalions of an infantry division, usually based at a place called Lakt, near the border, to operational alert. So it looks like they want to
do something there. Well, if you go to page 5 of the Daily Graphic, Bernard, South African government directed to overhaul restrictions. Some people went to court.
I told you from yesterday.
Yes, South African court has found some coronavirus lockdown regulations imposed by the government as unconstitutional and invalid.
He said the restrictions were not related in any way to COVID-19
slowing down
protocols.
COVID. Yes.
So it looks like people were looking for opportunity
to do their own thing.
Yes, to do their own thing. So that's all we have time for on the newspaper review. Coming up next is the City Business News. Stay with us.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Do you want to bank safely from the comfort of your